Yes, welcome once again. If you just join us today, na Property Matta na what they do. And name na Chief Olododo, they never change. And you know as we they take drum on top Property Matta, my always abio be new. Let's maybe say it don't last the test of time as far as real estate matter they concern. Ogbonge na him bio. What they talk about? Talk about no other person but engineer Debo Adejana. Good morning, sir.
Chief.
How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Body day inside cloth as they talk.
It inside suit.
It inside suit and cloth now.
Good to have you here. Good to have you
thank
here.
Thank you very much.
Well, today you want to give us the avenue to ask anything where they do our mind.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll get any transaction as far as real estate they concerned. Sabi, you and your landlord or even you and your community people or you and some people, they do any business we center around property or house or landed property, anything we get to do property, feel free today now your day. Ask, call in. I'm going to first reduce the volume on your TV set so that we'll go enjoy ourselves. Means if I pen some questions down, we'll be say if my oga give me the opportunity to start first, but first greet them for us. Maybe.
Viewers, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm sure that you are enjoying yourself and you've been enjoying the Property Matter for some time now. If you've missed any episode, like I always say, you need to catch up on WAP TV YouTube channel because we've been on it for over 2 years now, or almost more than 2 years now. And very interesting topics have been discussed in time past. Today is an opportunity for people to ask questions because I've come to realize that people learn more when they actually ask pertinent questions, questions that are particular to them that they want to have clarifications on. It helps. So that is where we are.
When you both have talk, say good today inquisitive. Say person where they ask question, the laws.
You know the laws, Abi. Now you both talk am.
No, you talk am.
Now you both say Abiri or no Ishino.
Yes.
Now you both be that.
Now you both go na Yoruba can translate am.
Are you sure?
Mo gba one time man so Yoruba lo ni.
Are you sure? Now Yoruba me I hear that one. Okay, tell me the Yoruba version.
Yoruba is good to be inquisitive.
Chief.
Yes. Let's start like this, sir.
Yeah.
The issue of street naming, sir, it has always been a germane or a very serious matter, most especially in news sites. I want to ask from the legal side of view, the real estate legal side of view, or from the best at which you know, sir. Shey na person wey first buy land from one area, shey na he suppose talk say emi mo koko debi na me first buy land where everywhere is still be desert, then they must name this place Olododo Avenue or Olododo Street. You understand? Or Olododo Close. Or say no, government go determine say we don't get name for this street. How does street naming come in place? Or even if person want name the place for himself, what are the procedures, sir?
Thank you so much. That's a very good one.
Thank you, sir.
That you just, and I think we should take a whole session on it later. Probably I will also do some research. Like you said, legal. I'm not a legal person, and that's why that's why you corrected yourself. I know. So that before the lawyer has come for me now, I'm not a legal person. I'm not claiming to be one. However, and I would also claim to know it all regarding this street naming. Yes. Okay, but the little I know is that street naming is handled by local government authorities. Okay, and usually, the person that you usually first apply, I think,
the person that usually
and that has and I think and that has reason, has cogent reason why he thinks that the street should be in his name. Maybe some contribution he has made to that environment. Usually, it's about development. So that's why it almost always falls on the person that first started development on that street. Okay. If he knows what to do in time. But there are streets that is not the first person really that started development that the street is named after. But maybe the person that knows his way around those
documentation.
Things. Yeah, that has started it first and probably has the ability to be able to make the necessary financial obligations because there are payments that you have to make, yes, for that purpose.
Or should we just center it around the level of exposure now, how exposed, how informed you are and go determine.
It go help you. It go help you. I inform you, I go help you. But it usually falls within people that first move to the place. Even if there is a tussle, usually between the first 3, the first 4 people to start development. So maybe the first person did not really know or start it in time, you know, and the other person that started. So they will now have to resolve and things like that. But that is for open areas, you know. But for estates that developers come up with, usually a lot of times those streets are named already. They are named already, or at least the condition of naming a street after anybody that is dwelling in that estate would have been well stated stated ab initio.
Like we have a Goan estate and some other places like that, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, all those Goan estates and you know, the streets are already, they have some names for them. Maybe road something, close something, you know, things like that. They name them not necessarily after people. But there are also estates, government estates that are named after people.
That County estate, for instance.
What I even mean by name after people, the streets.
Okay.
You know, the streets are named after people and things like that. So that's there is a procedure in the local government area, okay, and it usually falls on the person that first developed. Because if you are not staying in a place, you understand, you may not have the interest of having it named after you, in the sense of going to, ask, and you may not have a legitimate reason why it should be named after. If you are not staying in a place or you don't have investment in that place, you are not investing in the place. Not that you are contributing to the growth of the place. Your application may not fly. May not. I'm using my words carefully.
Okay, I like as a trend with ease. That's how it should be. But I believe, say like a TikTok, you go help us do a justification to this matter, most especially if it's what we can achieve next week, so that we so that we know waiting be the prerequisites, the requirements. Say na like this, say you say your color bad jobani, abi your color bad monile, I person go first even put a flag, say
no, it's government. That one is clear. I've said that one. It's local government authority. There is a planning office in the local government. And now, that's where you start from.
The next question where I want to ask, something where it happen, this is super story, it happen for my area. You know, say, come on, say, let's go to other. Now, this one a very serious one, and I want to make you advise us. What person go do? If you have a landlord, I don't know, maybe some landlord they do it deliberately, maybe it's orchestrated towards when issue won't happen. When we say if you pay, go tell you, say, don't worry, I'll give you receipts. Don't worry, I'll give you receipt. You pay year 1, year 2. But knowing full well, say, well, I have paid, and he's not going to deny it. And maybe from history, from history, there has been no case of maybe they pay him in deny. So other tenants, they tell the man to say, now saying they do, but he will not ask you
for the payments.
Yes. Now, issue it can't happen. Let's take Oga Shidi. Oga Shidi
from Rivers.
Good morning, sir. Very don't fall. Shidi, how you dey? Shidi don't go. Now, sir, issue can't happen. As issue happen, there is this requirement that the guy should tender his receipt of payment. Now, the first way in lawyer tell him be that he no get receipt to tender. Landlord, deny say truly no dey pay. I'm on no receipt to check from when to when as to determine the number of period wey go stay under the law before the eviction thing go start. In situations like this, what is your advice for tenants wey be say their landlord dey always calm them and say don't worry, go ask other people, and truly they know they collect the receipts, and it cannot be forcefully collected.
You can't put a gun to the no, it can be. What I mean by forcefully is that you can report a case and say, I paid this person, I'm asking for receipt, he's not giving me. Can report it in the police station, and the person will be compelled. I understand because you stay in a place. I will balance the whatever. Also because of the challenges of accommodation, you don't want to be the bad egg or to be the difficult tenant. A lot of times, because you know what that brings sometimes. So that's just it. But that it cannot be forced. It can be forced. It's what I was just trying to establish. However, you see, when people are clever by half. You must also be very, very knowledgeable to counteract whatever it is that they are trying to, their shenanigans. And it's very easy. Because I bet you that I'm almost 100% sure that landlord is deliberately withholding receipts for certain reasons.
It's a shenanigan.
He's deliberately withholding receipts for certain reasons, and he knows his reasons. Part of it is probably this. He knows that if any matter comes up, one of the things they will first ask for to establish that the tenant is a tenant is that you have paid rent.
Okay, sorry, sir, can we take Jane?
Jane Delta.
How are you there, Jane?
Jane from Delta.
I'm fine.
Good morning, Jane.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please go ahead with your question.
We are
First
not hearing
thing-
Jane again.
The first thing is to... Are you there?
No, I think we've lost Jane.
About the property matter.
Okay, go on.
You people said most landlords. I'm there. You people said most landlords they don't keep receipts. You people said most landlords don't keep receipts on the tenants. Most tenants are supposed to keep their own receipt by themselves. So that man that did not keep his receipt, if the landlord should tell him that he has not paid, he cannot deny it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm not sure Jane heard us very well.
Jane, we dey even talk of the aspect where the landlord did not give at all.
He no give, no be say.
He no keep, he no
the
give.
landlord was, and we are not saying most landlord. We are talking about a particular landlord that is in the habit of not issuing receipts to his tenant that have paid him.
Stephen, how are you
And we
there?
are trying to discuss what the tenants can do. Stephen from the Plateau.
Stephen, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
God bless you.
God bless you too, sir. Please go on with your question.
Stephen, go ahead. Wow, I hope
Please,
we've not
for
lost
us
him.
to enjoy the communication like we
So
usually say, reduce the volume.
Reduce the volume. So what that tenant can do
Okay.
is that when you pay somebody like that has refused to acknowledge the payment, you also document that payment to him in a way that, I mean, he cannot deny it. So, for example, if you've asked for receipt, he has not paid, you just write him a letter. Almost like, you can even couch it almost like you are thanking him for the opportunity to stay in his house and to do business. Oga landlord, sir, thank you very much for the opportunity to take. As you know, I made the payment for the year January 1st to December 31st, 20 something. Last week, Thursday, December something. Last week into your bank account number. So. Thank you so
Which
much. It's a
payment has been
privilege.
acknowledged by you?
No, it doesn't even have to go to that extent, but you can actually put it there. But you can put it in that letter like that, which payment has been acknowledged by you. I just want to appreciate you. This is just a letter to appreciate
You
you
can
and all of
back it
that.
up with a bottle of wine.
And just exactly, you see, and just give the landlord.
in English, you call
understand?
that Greek gift. It's a Greek gift.
Or make sure he sends it to the landlord in a way that there will be acknowledgement of that letter.
Yes.
So if the
Original
landlord does
copy
not now
received by
reply,
me.
Jonah from
Jonah, good morning.
Kaduna.
Good morning, sir.
How Kaduna?
Kaduna sweet.
Well done. Yeah, please go ahead with your question.
I dey hear your program and I dey listen to your program every day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
As the manager of Felifera Property and Investment in Abuja, but I just came to Kaduna.
Okay,
Okay.
and you pay for the advert. Your name where you call, you pay for advert.
Abi. Jonah. How is Kaduna?
And we thank God. Oh.
Please go on. Any question or contribution based on what we dey talk?
Yes, the question is, as the manager of my company, I have not, we have property on ground in Abuja, but I don't know how to go about it that we will be selling.
You have properties on ground in Abuja.
But you don't know what?
Yes, I enough property in Abuja. There is nothing you cannot call. Me now, the next life.
If I hear you well, you talk say you get property well in Abuja, but I think he's talking about sales or how to.
What is there any way that we can
I'm struggling to hear.
So if you can advise me, or if there's any seminar or anything that can improve our business.
Okay.
Improvement in business, everybody knows, means you sell and make money.
Okay, if I hear you well, you get land well
Yes,
for
sir.
Abuja, so you dey look for how you
Yes,
go
sir.
take sell am.
Yes, sir.
You don't have any problem. This is the best platform. Just make arrangements. Come to Property Matter, WAP TV, do advert, and the lands will be selling. Tí o tiẹ̀ le rárá, mo jẹ́ rò pé nǹkan ńlá ni. Na very small thing. You will see that a lot of companies are here to market their goods. Last week we get Madam Adeola. 3 weeks ago we get gas vine. A lot of companies dey come here come do their advert. So you sef, the only thing you can do is reach out to us on this line. Immediately after this call, just drop your number, we'll call you and we'll go talk of how we can. If you necessarily not to be here physically, once you can package the land and the details with your contact, laba gbé sáfẹ́fẹ́, people go dey call you wìtìwìtì ni àwọn eré àti ìlọmọnù ọmọ alájẹmọ ni wà. What are you telling? Mo lè tà yín.
Seriously.
Ọlọ́run.
You're a criminal.
He pants.
You can.
Kò sí tá a lè tà.
You can sell human being.
Mo lè no as a market you name it.
I bet you say you can
So
sell.
I'll market what you do to the
Okay.
money, not like that.
You know, so I mean, and in this day of internet, you have a GSM phone, you have WhatsApp and all. You don't need to send a letter. You can send mail. You can send SMS. You can send chat. It's evidence that it delivered. That's all. That's receipt.
And there's no counter when it delivers.
And he didn't say, "Oga, what do you mean? You've not paid me." He didn't reply that. Or he didn't reply at all. Silence means consent. Yes.
Yes, it's been very insightful. One I would get back to back. As we begin with that of street naming, we can move to that of the receipt issue. Which is some people don't they call into Chukmat. In can they teach us how to go around with smart landlords, so to say, smart in quote. So
Landlord
to
who
say.
claim to be smart.
Yeah, over to you,
Or
sir.
people who claim to be smart. Yeah, I think we've established that. So what the person needs to do is to find a way to pass across the information that I've paid you.
Okay.
You know? And once the landlord does not deny that by way of a reply or something like that, it's an evidence of payment.
This last question I have here is a very technical question, and it cause issue most times. And me, I don't know. Vis-a-vis, I know say some other people say won't know there. If I get property like this is my house. This is gutter. This is main road.
By gutter, you mean drainage, Abi?
In gutter, it's a drainage gutter. I don't want to use big English. So.
I get you.
Ile mini. Now my frontage be this gutter dey, main road dey. If person come by virtue of land property law, he come park because this kind of thing don come, maybe shop sef or house, he come park for road. Some people go talk say comot for my frontage. The owner of the motor go talk say na government get road. What does the law says about that kind of frontage vis-a-vis usage? Is the owner limited to only the gutter na him be the place wey be say law give am ni, or even to the front of that place, that main road, kini òfin sọ ń pa ẹ̀?
Okay. Well, if there is no parking restriction in that area, parking is free for all.
Parking is free for all.
If there is no parking restriction in that area, then parking can be done. So what you cannot just park where someone has an exit gate.
Okay.
I don't know
That's why I use gutter.
I get
because
you now.
in most situations gutter go don define say na the perimeter of your land be this.
I get you. So people who say you are blocking my markets or things like that, so far the place is not. Don't forget that a lot of times those structures are not really approved. They are not supposed to be a marketplace or something like that, you know. But if there are designated parking area in that environment,
Parking lot.
designated parking area, and there is parking restriction on that street or in that place, then why not? There are places you will go. What you will see they would have done is they've marked out where you can park on that road. You understand? I know in Abuja, it's at the time they were charging people for parking in wrong places, and all across the metropolis, they try to mark out where vehicles can park on the road.
Even it's very common in most places in Lagos now. Once you park, some people go just come. They go stay for the front of your motor. They go say they be kinikan, inside Amanda Kwara, and they will make sure say they take your car for wrong parking on the main road.
Main road or things like that. So that maybe the areas where there are parking restrictions, you know, yeah, because there are parking restrictions in some areas. So once there is no parking restriction, to the best of my knowledge, because you own a property, you understand, does not mean you own the road.
Because you own a property
does not mean you own the
road.
road. Yeah, the road is a public asset.
So I think that
and it will be used as dictated by the law. Yeah.
I think that is demystified enough. That is cleared enough, because this thing don't cause serious pandemonium. Landlords, shop owners, they will just believe, say, once we say at the front of my kiosk or at the front, you cannot park there.
So majorly, sorry to cut. So majorly, what you see then happens is understanding. People then have common understanding. So you see in some areas, say VI for example, or those business districts, that's why you see that in front of those offices, they put no parking and things like that. Why? They've actually gone to collect parking permits for themselves. Okay. So they are in control of the parking in their frontage. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you don't have any right to say this is a public.
No, it's not. No longer. It's being allocated to an entity to use for the purpose of parking. So they can dictate who parks and who does not park there. So if you are not going to their own business building, you understand, they may ask you, "Oga, you can't park here."
It's trespass.
You can't park here. Go and find somewhere to park, or go and park where you are going. You can't park.
And most times we go, they fight ignorantly. Say, no, is it not a public place? Is it not government? No. Is it some
those ones they've collected parking permits and all like that. So if there are no parking restrictions, the person does not have parking permits. You know, I mean, if there are no parking restrictions, anybody can park there.
Anybody can park.
You know, and if the person has parking permit, that means he can control who parks there.
Make a person even ask before he judge.
Usually, for people who have parking permits, you will have seen that signage somewhere in that parking lot. Okay. You know, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Engineer Debo, for the lovely one. I don't know if you get anyone where you want Chukma before we call it a day on the show. If there's any special one you want.
Okay, since we are not getting calls, yes. Abi. Yeah. Well, just to say that for the street naming thing, I mean, watch out. Probably next week we'll discuss more about that.
Because I get one place for you where I don't look. Say, that place now big bull so.
But Sivolo Dodo.
Yes, Sivolo Dodo. Kini mo say Sivolo Dodo Metropolis. Metropolis.
Not be even street again.
No, I want to do it like London Metropolis. So now it go be like county, county.
No.
You travel out.
How many? What's the square meter of this place? How many plots there?
No,
how many plots there?
Tobio is a metropolis. So
like how many?
Metropolis.
Like how many plots?
Even the person where go any election, what they do, mayor ni man,
mayor. You go start your own country, sef. The way where you go.
No, I just.
It's not metropolis alone you have. What chief is planning to have is a country.
No, mayor ni man, everything go be.
You won't follow the laws of the state. You just do your own.
Go there be British pattern.
Where you see mayor for Nigeria? Where you go to elect mayor for your own?
Mayor. I just say that to just use mayor. Mayor. You have to get it. Mayor. You do a mayor. Now you go with the council shaman. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, where they watch us. Now here we're going to draw the curtain. Next week, most definitely, we are going to an insightful one that is street naming, the prerequisites, the modus operandi, what are the things to have, what are the ways to attain or achieve this, to make sure, say, you name a street in your own name if you wish to do so. So no miss out for any reason next week. From me, I say goodbye. I'm from Engineer.
Yeah, goodbye. Also, see you next week. Thank you very much for joining us always.